Welcome back everyone, Super Tom here, and today we will be diving deep into Ayaka's best build based on the pre-release information we've got on her. But I have a feeling that this will still be pretty much work on her in the official release. So with this video, hopefully you will be all set and ready to build your Cryo Queen once you get her, or if you get her. Oh man! Good luck to those who are pulling for Ayaka. Now, I won't be diving deep into her stats in this video, assuming that you've already known all about it, and to keep the video as short and as detailed as possible. If you haven't, however, I'll have a link to Ayaka's stats in the description. But here's an overview of how you'd want to build Ayaka, is that she is going to be fully a cryo DPS. I don't think that physical is an option on her because her dash always turns her sword into cryo. Furthermore, Ayaka being a burst DPS is super potent just because of her insane burst damage scaling. So keeping those two things in mind, let's jump into her main DPS and burst build. Now, if you're building her as main DPS, there's a few options for her artifact sets. The best set we have right now will be the Blizzard Strayer set, because the set alone will give you 40% crit rate when fighting frozen enemies. Pair that up with a cryo resonance and you get a 55% natural light crit rate for the set bonus, not to mention crit rate substat you may have as well. With that, she is pretty much covered on crit rate if you go with this set. Or if you have enough crit rate already and want more power, you can go with 2 Blizzard Strayer and 2 Gladiator for 18% attack bonus. Another good set for Ayaka is the Reminiscence set, in that you get 18% attack bonus like Gladiator 2-piece, and for a 4-piece you get 50% attack increase for 10 seconds while consuming 15 energy when casting your E. This set is okay. Personally, I don't prefer it on Ayaka as she actually needs quite a lot of energy for her burst, and her burst is one of the most powerful thing in her kit, so in all conditions we would want to have as much energy as possible. Another possible set that you can run is Retracing Bolide, which gives you 40% attack increase while in shield. So this set may help you to keep attack bonus uptime much better than Reminiscent because it's easier to have your shield up. However, you do need to always run a shield character along with Ayaka. As for the artifact stats, in any set that you want, you will want attack sands, cryo goblet, and crit damage or crit rate depending on whatever stats you feel you're lacking more. For her weapons as a main DPS, the 5-star options, we have obviously the Mist Splitter as her best weapon because it's made for her. This sword is just absolutely amazing on all level in my opinion. It's got super high base attack stats, very good crit damage, while also giving Ayaka an additional 40% elemental damage without any refinement, which is very high already. An all-around perfect option for Ayaka if you're able to get this sword. Next is Summit Shaper or Jade Cutter are both very good option after that. Summit Shaper just gives you an insane natural damage boost, while Jade Cutter covers your crit rate. So if you're running Jade Cutter, you may be able to focus on the Reminiscence set, for example, for more damage bonus. For the 4-star options, best in line, you've got the Blackcliff Longsword in the shop as it gives her crit damage. Next is the Black Sword in the Battle Pass, very good stats, and it gives her crit rate as well for you to invest in different artifact sets if you want to. As for free to play option, we got the craftable sword coming in 2.0, which is called the Aminoma Kaguichi. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It has quite a low base attack, however they're trying to make it up with the substat giving you around 50% attack bonus at level 90, and the passive gives you energy recharge as well, which can support Ayaka to gain her burst much faster. There's also an option which is the Flute that you can potentially use. It has decent stats, but normally I wouldn't recommend it unless you've got like R3 and above and you don't really have any other options to use. Now for her team comp, as I've mentioned before, Ayaka will pretty much be used in a perma-freeze team that has Ayaka, Xingqiu or Mona, Diona, and Venti or Kazuha, running her with Blizzard set. This team just lets you cover almost all options possible. You have Venti or Kazuha for crowd control as well as elemental damage buff, Xingqiu for freeze, and Diona for battery, shield, and healing. Best team I've seen for Ayaka as of right now. If you want to go with melt comp, you can have Ayaka, Diona, Xiangling, and Bennett. If you're going with this team comp, then you can go either with the Blizzard Strayer set, or you can have the 2-piece Blizzard with 2 Gladiator, which can work as well for more damage, as you also have Pyro Resonance that gives you an additional 25% attack increase as well. There's also a shield comp that you can run. I don't know if that's actually a word, shield comp. I like it. For this set, you will run Retracing Bolide and have shield character in your team like Ayaka, Diona, Zhongli, and Bennett. This will provide you a lot of shields and healing, almost making you immortal, while having attack boosts from Bolide set as well as Bennett and Zhongli's E. So that's a solid options as well if you want to play like that. And that's her main DPS build. Now if you want burst DPS, then her artifact set is going to be a bit different. Best set we've got right now is going to be the Emblem Fate set that is going to be coming in patch 2.0. It gives you energy recharge, and while in 4-piece bonus, increase your burst by 25% based on your energy recharge. Running this set, you would want to have your ER go as high as possible. Best case is 300 ER, as that gives you exactly 75% burst bonus, which is the maximum increase we can have. Other than that, the Blizzard 4-piece will still work, or 2-piece Blizzard and 2-piece Noblesse, which gives you an additional 20% burst damage, which is also good. For artifact stats, you may want to have your Sands this time around, energy recharge. Goblet should still be cryo, and circlet being either crit stat, because other attack stats also needs to be as high as possible for more damage in burst. For her burst DPS weapon, this time around the Skyward Blade can be the best option for you, as it's a 5-star weapon that provides you energy recharge. The other 5-star sword should also work as well if you do have those 5-star options. 4-star options, you have the Festering Desire, which is the best option because it has a very good base attack stats. Other than that, there's the Sacrificial Sword, best if you have it at R5, or the Favonius Sword. However, I wouldn't really recommend these as their base attack stats are quite low, so you're cutting down on her damage quite a lot. So in this case, you can just use the Black Cliff Longsword or Black Sword or the new craftable sword and try to have more energy recharge from artifact stats. As for her team comp, the Ayaka, Diona, Venti, and Xingqiu team will still work, but this time around it's best to have Venti for crowd control, so he can keep the mobs in place for you to not miss your burst. Other than that, if you want to have more damage, then you can swap in Bennett and Kazuha. Or if you don't really care about crowd control, we can potentially have Melt during her burst by having Ayaka, Diona, Bennett, and Xiangling, and having Xiangling cast her burst first before Ayaka does, so that during Ayaka's burst we can trigger Melt as well. And lastly, for Ayaka's talent level, normally you'd want to level everything up to level 8, but if you're going with burst DPS, then you will want to prioritize leveling up your burst to level 9 or even crown it before anything else. And that should cover most of Ayaka's build option for the time being. I know that there might be other team comp and builds that I have not known to cover, so if you do have any other ideas, feel free to drop down in the comment section. Well guys, I hope this video was very helpful to you. If it did, be sure to subscribe to my channel as I post daily content to bring you the latest guides, news, and updates on Genshin Impact with some funny moments as a cherry on top. With that, this is Tom wishing everyone a super day.